My name is Jake, and there's one place in my hometown I still refuse to visit after dark. A cemetery. When I was a kid, my mom and I used to walk there almost every weekend. It was our little tradition. We would read the names on the gravestones, calculate how old the people were, and make up stories about their lives. It sounds strange, but those were some of my favorite memories with her. Years later, my mom and I had a falling out. We stopped talking. Eventually, I moved away, bought my first house, and somehow ended up living only a few minutes from that same cemetery. In fact, the cemetery was directly behind my backyard. At first, I thought it was funny. Then I started walking there again, usually late at night. The cemetery was huge, quiet, and surrounded by trees. I could walk for hours without seeing another person. Until one night, I was walking alone around 2 a.m. when I heard a voice behind me. "Hey Jake, it's me." I froze. I turned around. A man was walking toward me. He was wearing black sunglasses, a dirty white t-shirt, and old jeans. I had never seen him before. I didn't answer. I just started walking faster. The man followed. He wasn't running. He didn't need to. He simply kept walking behind me. And somehow, he knew my name. I eventually started running. When I looked back again, he was gone. I went home using a completely different route because I didn't want him knowing where I lived. For the next few months, I stopped going into the cemetery. Eventually, I convinced myself it had been a coincidence. Maybe I had heard him wrong. Maybe he wasn't talking to me. Then one night, I went back. I sat beneath a large tree with one earbud in, listening to music. I closed my eyes. For a few seconds, everything was peaceful. Then I heard something move beside me. I opened my eyes. Nothing. I looked around. Just gravestones. Trees. Darkness. I closed my eyes again. That's when someone whispered directly behind me. "Hey." I felt a hand touch my shoulder. I jumped to my feet. The same man was standing behind the tree. This time, he wasn't wearing sunglasses. He stared directly at me. Then he smiled. "I haven't seen you in a while, Jake." My stomach dropped. He knew my name. Again. He stepped toward me. There was something horribly unnatural about the way he walked. Not like he was injured. It looked like he was learning how to walk for the first time. I didn't wait to find out what he wanted. I ran. I never went back to that cemetery. But the strangest part of the story happened afterward. I told some friends what happened. They suggested the man might have been a caretaker. So I contacted the woman who owned the cemetery. She told me something that made my blood run cold. There was no nighttime security. No caretaker worked there after dark. And according to her, nobody had been buried there in years. I eventually put up a fence between my backyard and the cemetery. I thought that would be the end of it. It wasn't. While writing this story, I suddenly remembered my mom. I hadn't spoken to her properly in years, so I called her. We talked for a long time. Eventually, I mentioned the cemetery behind my house. Then I told her about the strange man. She went completely silent. Finally, she asked me something. "Jake, do you remember why we stopped going to that cemetery?" I told her I thought we had simply grown apart. She said no. Then she told me what really happened. Years ago, when I was still a kid, my mom and I were walking through that exact cemetery. A strange man approached us. Black sunglasses, dirty white shirt, old jeans, the exact same man. He greeted my mom by name. Then he started following us. He kept trying to convince her to look at his car. My mom became terrified. She threatened to call the police. Only then did he finally leave. She reported him, and the police told her something even worse. They had received other reports about the same man. My mom never told me because she didn't want to scare me. I barely remembered the encounter. But suddenly, everything made sense. The man I saw as an adult was the same man who had approached me and my mother when I was a child. The same cemetery, the same sunglasses, the same strange walk. And somehow, he still knew my name. I haven't seen him since. But sometimes, late at night, I look through my bedroom window toward the cemetery. The fence is between us now. The cemetery is completely dark, and every once in a while, I swear I can see someone standing between the graves, just watching my house, waiting. And I still wonder how long that man had been watching me before I finally noticed him.